Morning, everybody, or afternoon, whatever time zone we're in. It's Friday, July 2nd. Another technically frustrating moment for me where I did my video that I was putting up today and got about halfway through it, and my internet went down. And needless to say, the whole thing crapped out, and I had to go reboot the internet. So I'm starting over again because it's not one of these things. I really appreciate everybody says, just put it in an iMovie, continue on, and you can splice it all together. But I'm one of these people, boy, when your train of thought gets interrupted, it's really hard to just pick up where you left off and try to do it. I'd really rather just continue down the same journey once again. So I'm going to jump into this. So let's just pretend that never happened. Some things don't change. I really do appreciate every once in a while I get a box in the mail with some WD-40 or some lithium grease and things like that to fix the haven't gotten to it yet because every time I even think about it, I get a bunch of posts going, don't touch a thing, leave the chair alone. So for the moment, it'll stay. So don't worry about sending me any more lubricants. I had a great time yesterday talking to Chris Giese from Bass Player magazine. We kind of, when we finished talking, holy crap, we've been talking 3 hours. So it'll be interesting to see how he can disseminate that into a whatever article that they're going to be preparing. Those things are always interesting to me, once it's done, just to see what they glean out of it as something that's worth posting. And maybe it'll be down to a paragraph. I don't know. We'll see. And then I had spoken yesterday about maybe visiting some things that I worked on that never got released, never saw the light of day. And there's been a number of those over the years where you've done a whole project and at the last minute the kibosh comes in and just it gets shut down. And it can be for lots of different reasons. But as I was thinking about that and starting to explore a bit, I suddenly also looked at doing stuff where I played on the original and then ended up playing on other versions of it. And I kind of thought, I'm just going to do that today. So where I've ended up was when we went in the studio with Judith Owen I've written a few copious notes about this one. When we went in the studio in 2014 to do her album Ebb and Flow, which was her kind of homage to the 70s and the music that she grew up listening to in her household. We cut it at Sunset Sound, which is one of the old great studios in Hollywood, and the band that cut this track was myself and Russ Kunkel and Waddy Wachtel and Jeff Young on B3 organ, and Judith on piano and vocals. What had happened was we were in the studio cutting the album, and at one point she said, God, it'd be really great because so much of this for me was all based on James Taylor and hearing you guys when I was a kid and all that. And she said, yeah, maybe you should do like a James Taylor song, but didn't want to do like one of the obvious James Taylor songs that everybody knows really well. And Russ immediately said, hey, that's me up on the jukebox. And she went, oh, God, yeah. So she went home that night from the studio and investigated it and came back the next day with her arrangement of it. And we cut that the next day. We played it through one time to check out her arrangement and then cut it, nailed it. Most of her songs we usually nail on at least the first take, if not the second take. Because she's not that kind of an artist that's going to sit there slogging away all day. She pulls up a performance really fast with great vocals, everything. So we did that, and then I just thought I'd go back and visit 1971 and the Mudslide Slim and the Blue Horizon album that I did. I would think that was the first album I did with James. And on this, we did this at Crystal Recording Studios. And Crystal is about 1.5 miles from Sunset Sound, so we were in the same vicinity, kind of cutting the same way with Judith as we did with James. And on James's version of it, it's myself and Russ Kunkel and Carole King, and James playing acoustic guitar and singing. So for me, it's because I've done a lot of these where I think we did Doctor My Eyes with Wilson Phillips. Over the years, it's happened to me, on a number of occasions where I'll end up on a session and they want to record a song that I played on it, and I'll be sitting there and we start doing it, and like somebody on the date will go, "Man, you should go check out what the bass player did on the original." And I said, "I am the bass player who played on the original. What's the problem?" Because you don't want to copy the original. You want to, make something that is that artist. And that's the beautiful thing about working with Judith, is she always takes these songs and makes them hers. And her album Rediscovered is a full album of things from Black Hole Sun to Smoke on the Water to play that funky music, all the way she interprets the songs. So this was really fun to be doing Hey Mister, That's Me Up on the Jukebox. So I thought I'd first play you James's version that we did in '71, and then play along with the version that we did in 2014 with Judith. So this was the problem I had, though, on my previous doing this, and my fingers are crossed right now because I was playing the James version of it, and halfway through, the ball started spinning and it would not reboot, and I finally had to stop it and go down, and I'm a long ways off from the router in this house where I do this, and so I had to go down and unplug and reboot it and all that. So here's hoping that we'll get through it this time. So here we go. Hey Mister, That's Me Up on the Jukebox, James Taylor from Mudslide Slim and the Blue Horizon.
Hey mister, that's me up on the jukebox. I'm the one that's singing this sad song. Well, I'll cry every time that you slip in one more dime, and let the boy sing the sad one more time. Southern California, that's as blue as the boy can be, blue as a deep blue sea. Won't you listen to me now? I need your golden gated cities, like a hole in the head, just like a hole in the head. I'm free. Hey mister, that's me up on the jukebox. I'm the one that's singing this sad song.
Boy, does this bring back memories.
Well, I'll cry every time that you slip in one more dime, and let the boy sing the sad one more time. I do believe I'm headed home. Hey mister, can't you see that I'm as dry as a bone? I think I'll spend some time alone. Yes, unless you found a way of squeezing water from a stone. Let the doctor and the lawyer do as much as they can. Let the springtime begin. Let the boy become a man. I done wasted too much time just to sing you this sad song. I done been this lonesome picker a little too long. Hey mister, that's me up on the jukebox. I'm the one that's singing this sad song. While I'll cry every time that you're up and slip in one more dime. And let the boys sing the sad one more time.
Carol. Russell.
Well, I've been spreading myself in these days, don't you know?
Wow, that really takes me back. I can picture us sitting in that incredible studio, and that was the studio John Fishback had, who has been engineering and doing Judith's new music in New Orleans, and John was the gentleman who introduced me to James in the first place back in '69. So it's really involved. So this is, I'll play along with Judith's version of it. So this is Judith Owen in 2014, after Russ suggested, let's do Hey Mister, That's Me Up on the Jukebox. This is her version from Ebb and Flow.
Hey mister, that's me up on the jukebox. I'm the one that's singing this sad song. And I cry every time that you slip in one more time to hear that sad song one more time. Southern California, that's as blue as a girl can be. Blue as the deep blue sea, won't you listen to me now? I need your golden gauge, it says it's like I need a hold in the head. And just like a hold in the head, I'm free. Hey mister, that's me up on the jukebox. I'm the one that's singing this sad song.
very special, kid.
Oh, wait, stop. This is when you need an assistant and just can kind of shut things off for you and move things. But we are sitting here in a low-tech world, and so I mean, it's just interesting to me that, you know, different interpretations by people. On the original James one, I played my Peace Love bass, and on Judith's version on the album, I played my Warwick Star bass 2 on that, but that's in the other room in a case right now, and I didn't feel like grabbing it. And plus, I always just love playing. Just barely touching it. This thing just rings. I mean, it's just... How low this is. I'm drifting off. I'm getting ready now. We've got a band Zoom. I'm hopefully going to get some information about the immediate family to pass on tomorrow to you about something really cool that's coming up. Now, I just want to make sure it's all confirmed and that I know the details before I throw it out here and then have to backpedal on it. But I think I know what's going on, so I will get that to you as quick as I can. Next Tuesday, again, live stream, 3 o'clock next Tuesday. I've got some more stuff to do today, some more songs to do for people. And there's another thing going on that I'm going to double check and see if we have a meeting tomorrow about. That is going to be really interesting later towards the end of the year. But it's still in the formative stages. But it's going to be a lot of fun if this happens. And then I'm off to the warehouse to pick up a truckload of books to mail back east, because I'm going to have, at all the gigs we're doing with Peter and Kate and Albert Lee, there will be an after show hang, book signing, CD signings, all that, because Peter has a book. I think Kate has something. Albert's got CDs. So I'm going to try to have my book there for anybody who shows up and wants to grab an autographed copy of it at any of the gigs, and the like. You know, just there's a busy day ahead, and I got so distracted when the internet went down here. It was just really frustrates me to kind of no end when this happens. It's because you're right in the zone and you are like going, and all of a sudden it just shuts down. And I've been trying to be cognizant of all the things that could go wrong, and then the internet's one of the things you have no control over. So I'm going to get going and get on with my day and my Zoom meetings and all this stuff. But before I do anything, I'm going to say thank you once again to all of the frontliners that are out working every day for us. We are in much better shape than we were a year ago, but we're far from well and far from healed from this. So please don't drop your guard. Be smart about this. I was in the supermarket last night. Half the people wandering around in there are still wandering around without masks on. And it just drives me crazy. Or you see the people that are walking around and the mask is down here, you know, and you just go, what the hell, why even bother if you're not going to put it on properly? So, and, you know, still watching Florida. And now apparently there's a hurricane heading in, which is going to really, you know, be tragic for the rescue teams that are working on this collapsed building, trying to find people still alive in there. The idea of they've been putting up with rain and internal fires in this thing. I mean, these people are just unbelievable what they're dealing with. So take good care, and I think that was it. I'll get down, yeah, I'll get all funky. Maybe I'll show a couple of those projects that I worked on that are not available, and nobody ever will hear that music, I don't think. But you never know. I mean, it was like the Mike Reno record, the album I did with Mike Reno from Loverboy. When we finished that album, apparently the label said, no, let's not release it. Let's go ahead and do another Loverboy album and put our money into that. And then eventually, I think Mike just released the stuff on his own, and it's available. I posted it way early in the videos, probably in that first 100 videos. It's in there, buried in there. But it's interesting, these things. But they deserve to be heard because these people put a lot of effort into these songs, and the band worked really hard for them. And then just to have the whole thing just go, kind of sucks. But that's when you leave music and you enter music business, and those are two different animals altogether. So we'll see what's going on. But for right now, I'm going to get going, and hopefully this will upload and I can move on with things. So take good care, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.